So we're going to pattern our body, your gown body, your blouse. So before you do any pattern, you must have your tape, your armhole ruler, your pen or pencil. So now our shoulder is shoulder we are going to use is 17. So 17, the shoulder is 17. So our 17 we are going to divide it by 2 with your tape, which will give us 8.5. So we are going to measure 8.5. This is our shoulder. 8.5 plus half inch for sewing allowance. You will turn down again and measure your 8.5 plus half inch sewing allowance. So we're going to use it now. So from there, we're going to measure our armhole depth. Normally is 9 inches. The standard of armhole depth is 9 inches armhole depth. So we are going to rule it out. Now we are going to get the neck. Normally the neck we are going to use here is 4 inches by 4 inches. So we are going to cut it out. You can also use 5 inches by 5 inches. You can also use whatever you want, but what we are using here is 4 by 4. So you notice that our shoulder is slant. Our shoulder is always slant. Because of that, we are going to remove 1 inch from here and slant it from the shoulder. From the shoulder, this is our shoulder of the dress. As you can see, this is our shoulder and this is the neck, and this is armhole depth where you're going to insert your sleeve. So from the 1 inch you have removed to down, we have 8. So we are going to get the middle of it, and at that middle we will mark 3/4, half and quarter, which is 3/4. So after doing that, we are going to curve it out from the shoulder. Make sure it's touching the line you mark and it's touching the line of your armhole depth. As you can see, our armhole is forming, has formed already. So we're going to measure the length of the blouse. This blouse, you're going to use it on a gown. Do you understand? Or you can use it on a skirt. So what we are going to use for the length of the blouse is the half length. Half length because we are going to join it on our on a gown. That's to make a gown. You're going to join it on a skirt to make a gown. So the length of the half length is 17. Let's say 16.5. 16.5 plus 1 inch. Why we are adding 1 inch is because we are going to use half inch here to sew the shoulder, and we are going to use 1 inch here to sew the blouse to the gown. So we are going to measure it like this. I'm measuring it here. Then I'm going to rule it out. So now the next thing is to measure your bust length. Bust length is from the shoulder to the on top of your nipple. That's the bust length from your shoulder to on top of your nipple. So from shoulder to on top of our nipple is 11. We are going to measure it like this, 11 plus half inch. I told you we are going to use half inch to sew the shoulder. So we are going to measure it to get our bust length. So our bust length is here. So we are just patterning our simple blouse. We are going to join to the skirt. This is simple way. If you are doing ready to wear clothes to wear, as in ready to wear dresses, this is what you're going to use, and it's very, very easy. So we are going to measure the round of the bust and the round of the waist. So the round of our bust now is 36, and that 36 we are going to divide it into 4 with your tape. This is our 36, and you're going to divide it again into 4, which will give us 9 inches. So I'm going to measure the 9 inches, and I'm going to add the allowance for my sewing. The allowance for my sewing is going to be 2 inches. 1, 2 is 2 inches. You understand? So it's 2 inches. If you want, you can add more for those that want allowance so much. So we're going to measure the round of the waist. The round of our waist is 31. So we're going to also divide it by 4. Divided by 4. This is divided by 2. This is divided by 4. So we have 7 3/4. So we're going to get it from here, 7 3/4, and we're going to add our 2 inches again to it. 2 inches allowance. So now we're going to insert our dart. Before you insert your dart, there is something you need to get, which is bust span, nipple to nipple. You can call it bust span, and you can also call it nipple to nipple. Our nipple to nipple here is 7. So that nipple to nipple, we are going to divide it by 2, which will give us 3.5. So we are getting it here, 3.5, 3.5. So from that, this is our dart point. So from there, I want it to be 2 inches. I want to remove 2 inches from it. This is my 2 inches I'm going to remove from the blouse. So from there, I'm going to connect it here, while I will remove half inch from the normal point measurement we have done already. So I'm going to connect it from that bust point down to the waist, where I've already taken the measurement of the dart to remove. So I'm going to remove this one. I'm going to remove it from the dress, from this pattern. So we have here 2 inches. When you remove 2 inches, you want to add it here, because if you don't add what you removed here, the clothes will not be able to size you anymore. So we are removing 2 inches here, and we are adding 2 inches here. And remember, we are going to use 1 inch to sew it down, half inch from here, half inch there. That's joining it together to sew it. So we are adding again 1 inch to the measurement. So I think that's all for now. So we're going to reel it down. So your upper bust measurement, we have upper bust after your bust. Let me see. It's between your armhole and your chest. That's upper bust. So when you have 11 here, your upper bust has to be 10.5. Remove half inch. It's always like that. Remove half inch from from the bust. So this is our pattern for the blouse. And if you want to add your darts from there, if you check all the already made gowns, all this Turkey, wherever they have that here, do you understand? So we want to insert our dart. We're going to measure like 2 inches from here. So your dart is going to start from here. We will open it up from there and sew it with 1 inch. That's half from here, half from here. So since we are removing 1 inch from here, when we sew it, 1 inch will go. We are going to add 1 inch down here. So we are going to add our 1 inch down here, and we're going to rule it to the point of that we have created before. So this is it. We are going to cut it out now, to show you what this is all about. And in our next video we will show you what we made out of this blouse. So we are cutting it out now. And this dart, we are going to open it up, because if you don't open it up, you will forget that there will be that there. To that point of 2 inches, I've opened it up. So this is what our blouse is going to look like. This is our blouse. So if you are making so much dresses that maybe you are making it in mass, so this is the kind of pattern you're going to use. You are going to sew it down like this and sew it down like this, and it will bring out your bust. You don't need any other pattern. So if you okay, so now we are going to do the back of the dress, the back bodies. So for the back, we are going to remove 1.5 inch for the zip and the sewing allowance. The zip and the sewing allowance. So this measurement, these allowances I'm adding is for the fabric and the lining. That's the allowances I'm adding for the fabric and the lining. So I've removed the 1.5 inch for the zip allowance and the fabric allowance. So from there we are going to take our measurement again. Like I said, from the shoulder, our shoulder is 17 divided by 2. Shoulder is always divided by 2. 17 divided by 2, which is 18.5, plus half inch for sewing allowance. So we're going to come down 9 inches. Like I said, the armhole depth is always 9 inches. So we are going to measure our shoulder again, and draw it, rule it down. We are ruling it down, and rule down the armhole depth, as you can see. So the depth of the neck for the back is always 1 inch. 1 inch. Some people used to come down 3, 4, 5, but me, my own is 1 inch. So for the part we have used 4 by 4 the other side, we are going to use 4 by 1. 4 by 1. Do you understand? So we are going to rule it down again. 4 by 1. So we are ruling it down. That's our neck depth. Ruling it down. And we're going to cut it out. You can curve out with your ruler, you can curve out with your hand. This is our neck depth. Remember I told you that we are going to remove 1 inch from the shoulder. That shows that our shoulder is slant, not straight. So we have already removed the 1 inch, and we are going to also get our armhole depth. Like I said, if you watch our previous video for the front bodies, you will see that we divided the armhole depth by 2, and we came in by 3/4. But now for the back, we are coming in by 1/2 inch, not 3/4 again. So we are ruling it down like so. As you can see, you see. So we are going to get the length of our dress, the length of the blouse, which is 17.5. 17.5. So, and our bust point too, our bust point, which is 11.5. We get it again here, 11.5, for accurate measurement. So we are reading it down. As you can see, so we are going to get our bust pan now. Our bust pan, like we did in the front body, bust pan for the darts, for our darts. Like for the back, that is going to go over the bust point. If you notice from the front bodies, that didn't cross the bust point. Rather, we came down 1/2 inch to connect the dart, but here the dart is going up, to be able to give you a better fit. So we are going to measure our bust round. So like I said, our bust round is 36. 36 divided by 2. 36 divided by 2 and divided by 4 will give us 9 inches. Remember, all your measurements will start from the 1.5 inch. If you start from here, by the time you sew your zip 1 inch and sew with lining 1/2 inch, the dress will not enter you again. So like I said, after the measurements, we are going to add 2 inches allowance. So for the waist again, the waist is 31, and our 31 we are going to divide it by 4. So dividing it by 2 and dividing it by 2 again, you see, which gives us 7 3/4. So we're going to measure it 7 3/4, and we are adding 2 inches allowance. 2 inches allowance. So our 2 inches is here. So we are going to rule it out, rule it down. No, remember we are sewing that. We are going to cut this through, so we are going to use 1 inch to sew it. So we are adding back our 1 inch back to the pattern. So now we are going to rule it down. Unless I forget, if you look at our back is not straight. So from that back, we are going to remove 1/2 inch from the back and roll it up. Just watch and see what I'm going to do. You see? And remember, as we have removed it here, we are going to add back our 1/2 inch here. Sorry, I have to add some this thing. So As we have removed the half inch, you are going to add it back here, the half inch back. Then we are now reading the original line. Now this is the original line. So another one, the half length for the front side is not the same with the back, because the front we have at the front we have breast, so the breast will take more of the measurement, but the back doesn't have breast. So for that reason, we are going to remove half inch from the back. You can also remove whatever you want, but me, I'm removing half inch. We are removing half inch from the back, from the measurement, and we're going to connect it to the original measurement of the waist. That is the 31 we divided by 4, as you can see. So we're going to cut it from here and cut it from here. Did you see? So as our upper bust, like I told you, we are removing half inch from the upper bust. So we are connecting to the upper bust now. So this is our back pattern. I'm going to cut it. So this is it. This is our dart. So we're going to cut it through. As you can see, this is our back bodies. And this is our front bodies. So this is our front bodies, as you can see. You understand? And this is our back bodies. So if you like our video, please do join us next time, and click on that notification button so that you'll be able to get our video whenever we upload a new one, and stay tuned whenever we upload. Thank you.